Hello everybody, welcome to my stream. I'm DC. You can find me all over the internet, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Wait. That was the old thing. Mostly follow me on Blue Sky. I'm there, or follow me here. You can find all my stuff over at dclasair.com, which is powered by a new link in bio site called Doros. Use my affiliate link to head on over there. And if you like what you see in the free version and you want to support the pro version, use my discount code DCLasair to get 30% off for 3 whole months. And they do share some of that subscription with me. So yay. All right, who is here in chat? Who said hello in chat? JD Lady, hello. Fernando, hi. Welcome on in. Double checking, making sure all the streams are going everywhere. And oh yeah, Gen Con. You're going to be at Gen Con. I'll be at Gen Con. You should come see my panel. It'll be great. It's all about producing TTRPG actual plays. It'll be fun and exciting, and you'll get to know stuff. Plus, you get to see me. So come to the best hour of the con and sign up. All right. What else I got today? Let's see. Next week we'll be back we'll be on regular schedule, I believe. So that means Monday and Tuesday video games, Wednesday Gunpla, Thursday video games, Friday Tech Friday. Hey, you're here now for that. So yay. Good job, you. And thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Okay. Let me make sure I have everything I need up and going. Gonna need that later. All right, let's get into this thing. So today, once again, is Tech Friday. Yay! Welcome on in, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. Hopefully you have a good weekend as well. And today, we'll be talking about Rode's CallMe beta. And you don't call Rode beta, their product is called CallMe. And yeah, it's a thing. And a couple other audio things that I found on the internet I'd like to talk about. And then we're going to take a look at the fancy campaign frame outline I made for Daggerheart. If you came by my stream when I did a late night a couple days ago, you got to see the video that will eventually go up on YouTube for it. But I thought I'd also do it here for funsies. Okay. So first up, let's get into the thing. Oh, you know what? I test out these windows and then I don't slide them back because I want to do this. Yeah. So now I gotta do it again. Go away. Come back. Yeah. So this is the getting started with the Rode CallMe app. Now I'm in their beta program, so I got an invite to it, and you'll want so you'll have to sign up for their beta program as well, or if you're already in it, you should have an invite to it. But here is what we're looking at right now. Oops, I didn't want to open that. I wanted to copy, paste it into chat for everybody. And what we can see here is that it allows you to take a call via another Rodecaster Duo or Rodecaster Pro 2. Or the person on the other line could use a website link and call you, and basically they call into your Rodecaster Duo or Rodecaster Pro 2, and you set it up so that one of your channels accepts the CallMe. Here's the internet connection requirements, management features. You basically set a channel for the CallMe, and then they give you, Rodecaster connectivity, how to handle that. We're inviting a web browser guest. And, nice, complete instructions for inbound, outbound, audio management, processing, and they provide a video. And so I was looking at this, and I was considering the prices, which is this other page here. Put that in the chat. And the free tier is CallMe Lite. Now for the beta, their regular CallMe is free for a while. But that's special beta pricing, so you're not going to see that on this page. But the Rode CallMe Lite is one CallMe channel, so single remote guest, 10 hours worth per month, 5-hour for trial for browser-based connections, ideal for getting started. Well, 5 hours per month. If you're doing a podcast, that's maybe one. If you're doing a 2-hour podcast, that's maybe one per month. If you're just doing an hour podcast, well, maybe that's enough for you. And it's just for one person. Now, if we go up to 2 people, so there's a total of 3 of you on, we're looking at $9.99 a month, or $99 per year. So you get unlimited calls, and you're not restricted by this 5-hour limit, which, if you're using this for a TTRPG actual play, is probably not going to be enough. And two people might not be enough either, because most RPG actual plays have at least 4 people and the DM, right? 4 players and a DM, so total 5 people. And then the big one, Rode CallMe Pro, supports 3 people and all this other stuff. And I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, who is this for? $500 per year to get 3 other people online. And largely, I'm not thinking this is for us as streamers, where most of us are at. Because, I talk about TTRPG actual play productions. I need something that handles way more than 3 people. And you can get pretty good audio for less than this as well. So I thought about trying the beta. I may still do that because get a free trial of the beta for a bit just to see what it's like. But I can get high quality audio out of a bunch of different free tools. And so looking at who this is for, seems like it's very narrow. Because ultimately, this wouldn't be for me. Like if I had, when I have Urban Bohemian on every once in a while, I could probably do this. But if I had another, I could probably get away with the Lite program, the Rode CallMe Lite, Don't call it Light. The name of the program is CallMe. Yes, I did the joke again, all right? Just get over it. I'm going to do it a lot. It's a good pun. Chris, hello. Welcome on in. So I was at a little bit of a loss of who exactly they're aiming at. Because most likely, most of the people I know and that do the TTRPG actual play aren't going to have the budget for these. If they have a budget, they're spending it elsewhere and using free tools to capture their audio. Or maybe, they're paying another site or something like that that can support everybody on the call, and not just the 5 people or 6 people needed. So use case for this has me a bit mystified. I can see where it would be handy, a first-party solution, sure, great. One person calling in, it looks like it's fairly easy to set up, to go through. But beyond that, I don't really see the uses coming out of this for most of the space people who watch this and, tend to play in, right? Like, even for when I was on Rivals of Waterdeep, that one, none of those would be enough for Rivals of Waterdeep. That was 6 people on the screen. Plus me as their producer, but my audio didn't have to be recorded, so I didn't include it in. Once I had a, Rodecaster Duo, I can just take my audio out of the mix completely. So I don't have to be in the mix at all. But 6 other people do. And so, we had my recording of Rivals of Waterdeep. We had the Twitch recording of Rivals of Waterdeep, the VOD, and we also had just the audio recorded on a different service. I forget what service they were using, but it was a paid-for service. But again, it could support 6 people and just captured everyone's audio individually, which was great. And I could take that and, smash it together and use it for the podcast. And that was still a big cost, but it wasn't as much as the Rode CallMe was for 3 people. Or I should say for 3 CallMe channels, so you'd get a total of 4, you plus 3, right? But if that's enough for you, if you only need 1 and you like Rode does, and you'll get good audio out of it. That much is guaranteed. It's just the use case is a little weird to me, and I was just sort of mystified at who this is aimed at. They want it to be for anyone who's doing like streaming or broadcasting or anything like that, but you're probably already going to have other tools that manage multiple audio and multiple guest voices coming in, right? This is just for voice calls. Often I say OBS is good for 99% of everything you need, and that's still true. If you're on a really large production, maybe something like vMix makes a little more sense. And vMix is excellent, by the way. It's a different learning curve, but they have a lot of great tools. And so maybe at a certain level, that software makes a little more sense for organization to use, but most of the time you're gonna be fine with OBS. All right, let me check these real quick. So that's the new thing. I can get the beta, and I may try the beta just because it'll be something to try, and new tech is neat. But yeah, so I was just a little mystified. But when it gets released and it's something you think you need, I would, like I said, Rode is known for their audio quality. They've been around a long time. And if it fits your needs, it's definitely worth a consideration. I just don't know what those needs would be. So you'd have to tell me what those are. All right, moving along. Now, I've talked about this, maybe last year sometime again, but I saw a YouTube video talk about it again, so I thought, well, maybe it's time to mention this again. And Madison at Rode CallMe, baby, got some nerve, and baby, they'll never do. Excellent. This thing here called the Sonido Dock, I believe. And here's the Amazon link. And what this does, let's just go straight to it. This thing right here, yeah. And it's $45.99, as you can see, so less than $50. And you can plug in a couple audio sources in it and pump them into your computer. And something like this for $50, kind of neat. So you could plug in, maybe a game control, a game system and things. And it's a very inexpensive way to get multiple audio channels in your stream. So if you're just starting out, this may be a good solution if you don't want to spend a lot of money. Personally, I would save up and either get a Stream Deck that uses with the Wavelink software, or if you can afford it, get a Rodecaster hardware solution, something like that. However, if you don't want to spend that money, you can. This will work pretty well. Let's see, we copied that. And here's the YouTube video I saw the other day, just to kind of give credit where credit's due, by a guy named, goes by Cal's Creation. And so he talks all about it there. Yeah, so do that without spending a lot, and it'll be great. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Discord audio. And there's a guy named Tom Buck on YouTube. And he does, audio videos are his thing. Testing out all sorts of audio products and everything. And he has tips to get good look and sound your best on Discord. Was this recent video. So instead of me going through all those, I'm just going to give you the video to watch later. Copy link. So there's that. As we were talking about expensive things, I'm like, Discord's free. And you can get good sounding audio out of Discord. And there's a video on how to do that. So yeah, so we've run the gamut from paid to thing. Signing homework on a holiday 3-day weekend, right? Yeah, so I like a lot of what Tom Buck does, and he tests all sorts of microphones. One of the people that if you type in the name of the microphone you want to hear, he might have a video on it. It was one of the names that'll come up fairly frequently in those discussions. Okay. Now then, what time we got? Well, we got time. Now I wanted to get into the thing I worked on and released. Wait, let me get the link. There it is. So I have two campaign frames up for use with Daggerheart. One is a non-fancy but still cool version, which is just a markdown file that you can open in any text editor. And the other one that just came out this week, I'm calling the fancy version, which is an Obsidian Vault. So you do need to download Obsidian to access it, but there's my link, dclasair.com/s/Daggerheart CF outline. Stands for campaign frame outline. Just in case. So yeah, check it out. We're going to do a little tour of it as soon as I get on over to that window. Boop. There we go. Let's full screen this app a second. You do that. Bring this down a little. Yeah, hi, kitty. Okay, well, it's going to be kitty time, so hold on. Hey, JD lady. Perfect timing. Here's Hannah. That's my kitty. She graces with us with her presence every now and then. At least once a stream. JD lady says hi. Yeah. And so I don't hear her come down, but if I'm not paying attention, she meows, meaning please pet me. Or it's probably not even please, it's just like pet me now. Because, cat. Alright, why don't you go over there on the table so people can see you. And tilt the camera down a bit. Hi. Hi, Hannah. How you doing? Ooh. Got hair going everywhere. You gonna jump down? Wait, what you thinking? What you thinking about doing? Oh, you're thinking I should pet your head. Okay. Yeah, hi. So this is stream. Just so you're aware. If you thought it was anything else, you're wrong. It's just the cat. Let's see here. Can I pan over a bit? Yeah. Pan over just a bit. Oh, now you're going to jump down, aren't you? Yeah, you're looking for a way to jump down. There you go. All right. Okay, am I helping you out? All right. I'll play some music and be right back. Happily accept this fate. All All right, be right back. All right. Thanks for sticking around. Readjust the camera. See here, tilt back up. Pan back over. Center myself up a little. There we go. All right. So, where was I? Oh, yes, my fancy Daggerheart campaign frame. And based off the what's available in the SRD Daggerheart SRD. So let's bop over to it right here. So I have set up instructions index. So if you just want to jump to a section, you can. Here's the community license and about me. And then in big capital letters, let's see here. What's the button? Is it? Yeah, there we go. Big capital letters, instructions, so you can't miss them. And if you haven't seen Obsidian, this is Obsidian. To do a vault, you come down here. And if it's your first time, you'll see this screen as soon as I undo this. Wait a second. Come back screen. Oh, you're over here. Haha, you opened on a different monitor. You'll see this screen. And you can see all my vaults here. And you download the vault at my link I put into chat. Download Obsidian at obsidian.md. Let's give you an Obsidian link. There's where you get Obsidian from. And say open folder as vault, and you point it at the campaign frame folder that you just downloaded from me. In my decades of experience in customer service, you could have a free $100 bill connected to that link and people will still miss instructions, right? This is also true, but I'm hoping big capital letters are appealing. So, so yeah, you open folder as vault, and then you point it to wherever you downloaded my folder, and you'll get this. Now, there are a couple settings in Obsidian that you'll want to change from the default, just so this vault looks nice. So hit instructions. Look, a whole welcome thing, how everything goes into the full outline. There's an instruction index and a campaign frame index. And then setting up, first thing you want to do is turn off readable line length. So you go to the little gear. That's down here. Click on that. You get this. Then you'll want to go to editor. And readable line length will be on, and everything will kind of be squished into the middle. But readable line length off gives you the width, the width. Let me get the width of your screen. So I usually like that. That's how I usually set up my Notion too. Is I turn off the thing that keeps everything in the middle, and use the full length thing. So I designed this vault with readable line length off. So turn it off, and things will look nice. And I highlight. I even have a plugin that let me do kind of captions for the pictures. And then the other thing you want to do, and this is just for this vault. You may want this on for all your other vaults, but for this vault, so it doesn't double up on the titles, you're going to want to turn off show inline title. Otherwise, you'll have title and title in every note that you see, and that can be distracting. It annoyed me anyway, so I suggest turning it off for best results. And this under the Appearance tab, and right down here, show inline title. And just switch that off. And once you do that, you're all set. Everything should be ready to go for you. And then we have using the vault. And I want to highlight this. Information flows one way. So everything you do here on the side flows down into the full outline. But typing in the full outline does not add anything to any of these. All right, and then this folder here, you see this picture here? Yeah, it's stored in the images used in instructions folder. So, if you want to take them out and look at them, you can, but they're all there for you too. The other thing you'll want to make sure of is the plugins are available. Now, the plugins should come along for the ride with the vault. You shouldn't have to do anything. But just in case, I have them listed here with links to them. And this vault uses 3. Uses image captions, so I can, once again, make this happen. Uses the manual sorting plugin, so I can organize this however I want. You can move these around and put them however you want. Otherwise, Obsidian defaults to alphabetical, and you can't really drag them anywhere. The only other way to organize really is to use a number before, and then maybe like an underscore or a dash. So I'd say 01 underscore title elements or dash title elements or something, just to put it at the top. But I avoided all that, so I could just drag things where I wanted them by using the manual sorting plugin. And the last plugin we use is Markdown Export, so you can export this as a PDF, which Obsidian does standard, or as a Markdown file, or as an HTML, and we'll get to that in a moment. And if you happen to not see any of these plugins, here's the GitHub, but you can also go to Settings and Community Plugins. Make sure Community Plugins are on. Again, they should be, but if not, there's a little button to turn them on here, and you just press it. And as you can see, the list should say Install Plugged In, Image Captions, Manual Sorting, Markdown Export. And then what you'll want to do, if you don't find it, is you hit Browse. Here's all the community plugins, all 2,000 some of them. And then you just type in, okay, I need the image caption one. Image captions with the S. Here it is. You click it. This will say install instead of anything. Oh, there's an update. Update? I guess we update. But this will say install. And then once installed, it will say there'll be also an option to enable. Make sure it's enabled. And then you can, there's separate options for it, caption regex, if that's any particular thing. So you do the same for all those, like Markdown export is down here. Manual sorting doesn't appear in this list on the left because it's just a thing that lets you do the thing. But it will be in community plugins. And it just lets you drag and drop. There's no options for it. It just does what it says on the tin. Right, but you'll want to make sure that these 3 plugins exist. And it just there to help you. I suppose you can not use the plugins, but it might look a little weird. Because I designed this in mind with the way the campaign frame information goes in the Daggerheart SRD. I mean, this is the order of stuff, right? The pitch is first, tone and feel. And you'll notice a category that is not there in the Daggerheart description, but they include this information anyway. So I called it title elements. I wasn't sure what else to call it. But they have a title. So you can delete the word title if you want and just put in your title. So like my best game. And then they have a quote. Now to input your quote, if you want it italicized, and if you want this format like this, put it in between the 3 asterisks, and that'll preserve that formatting. Because this is all in Markdown. And then they have a design by, so you can put your name, complexity rating, whether you want to type a 4 or just do, 4 stars. And that way when you go to the full outline, oh dear. Unable to find title and title elements. Oh, because I named it. I'll have to fix this. Can't find title because I named it. I included more in the name. I'll have to think about that. It'll have to be another version. All right, but you type the stuff, it all appears here. So actually what you could do is just type this stuff below. So you could go title, and then, the best game, and then quote. Close it off. Designed by. And then complexity rating. So you can do something like that, and then it appears right in these things, right? Because you don't mess with these titles in the other thing. So there's not a really good workaround for it other than putting it below as well. Then if you wanted to add formatting, I'm not sure how to quite get around that, though. I wonder if there's a variable I can put in that will let it accept any variable afterwards. But you put stuff. Now, usually most Markdown documents, you want to leave a gap between things. So that's why I have a line between title and the actual title. But if you wanted to have the title big, that's $1 number sign, hashtag, whatever you want to call that. That's like if you see in things like Notion or other products and you see a H1, that's headline 1, headline 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 6. And make sure you have the space afterwards. And then it will make the headline whatever size you want. You could do the same thing with the quote. So if I wanted this to be bigger, I can make it 2. And then as long as I have it surrounded in 3 asterisks, it will be bold and italicized. If I just want italicized, we do, we do 1. And if I don't want it big, I just remove the number signs, right? Maybe I should include a right title here type things, right quote here. That'll probably be what I need to do. Then you go to, but I didn't know what else to call this, so I called them title elements because they were, even in the Daggerheart SRD, the campaign frame example in there has these things in it. So I thought, well, let me get you these things too. And worst comes to worst, you can always just copy and paste what's in here to the top. And that might be the solution. Like, instead of doing this, just say paste title elements here. I wanted to give you just the option to put these things in. Oh, you know what? It's not going to take the formatting either. Because of the way it handles it, it won't like that. So yeah, so I'll have to change that. Good thing I'm doing this, right? So full outline, you know, the best game. Notice as soon as I took away the formatting I did for the title is here. So what I think I'm going to have you do then is just make a thing saying copy and paste title elements here. And that way you can have them all on the same line and just have it up here. So do that. And I will change that up. But otherwise, everything is type whatever you want. The pitch. Right, go to full outline. Here's my pitch. Notice that any other formatting doesn't come up because it expects it to be an element there. So you would just type out things, go to full outline, and then here's my pitch, tone and feel. And we go to themes. I wrote this is my theme. And I'm wondering if it's just the header thing that this system doesn't like. Okay, so it does change that. So as long as you're not putting a heading here, it will download that, which could be a problem. So you can also just copy and paste the information from here. I was trying to save you that step, but if you need particular headings within your things, you'll probably just want to copy and paste. But you have separate things for all these, and then by the time you get to the full outline, it's all here. I was hoping to have you save, copy, and paste, but that may not work for every situation. But I also wanted to give you separate areas, so you're not like looking at the whole thing and being overwhelmed, you can just piece it together bit by bit, right? So all your community's information can be here, all your ancestors, and then later on you combine it into a full outline. So yeah, I wonder if there's a... Love me a good outline? Yeah. I want to make this easy so that you could just type and keep typing. So as long as you don't add a heading, any sort of heading, this will work fine. But if you do need more headings, you know, if you need subheadings within the subheadings, that's probably not going to work out. But you can do all the other stuff. I wonder, can you do a call out box? Let's see here. Call out box would be that, and then note. Right? No, that's not a call out box. Is it double brackets? Oh, no. That's not it. I forgot how to do call outs. Let me look a second here. Let's see here. Call out. Here we go. Oh, I forgot the... That's why I forgot. Forgot the greater than sign. And then info. Nope, nope. Like that. And then I want to type in whatever. That's call out block. Now, does that appear in the full outline? It does. Okay, so yay. So it looks like as long as you're not adding a heading, it will take... They'll take whatever you want and put it here. Because I have, say, okay, I want you to take the info from this note and just dump it in here. But because of the... It doesn't quite work like I want to. Like, it should take everything from the pitch and just put it in here, right? No matter what else you do. But apparently it doesn't like adding headings into it, so I will find another solution for that. Or just change it up. But regardless, once you're done, you can still do everything you need. Once you're done, you go over to the upper right. And you should see these 3 dots here. Click those. And this is where you can export to PDF, export to Markdown, or export to HTML. And then what it does is you set up a folder where it exports the Markdown to, and it just automatically, there's now a Markdown file in the location I've specified, showing me this. All right, so still functional. If you want to do it, you just need to create space here. And then as long as you're not using another heading, as long as you're not doing something like that, it will show up in the full outline. And that is... Where did I put that? Here's the index. The index is fine. Let me get rid of all this stuff now and go through. What time is it? Oh, it's almost top of the hour. So yeah, that's a good spot to stop. It's good to know all the other stuff works. It's just that it gets confused about the headings. Interesting. I'll have to have a think on that. Did I write anything else in any of these things? Like incident, campaign mechanics, session 0 questions. Back to full out. Oh, right. Title elements. So there you go. And if you are writing something in Markdown, it is recommended that you have a line break between each thing. So for the title, you wouldn't write it here. You'd hit enter once, and then, or make a line break, and then you'd write the title here. Right, leaving this alone. And you do that because sometimes in Obsidian, or even other Markdown things, Markdown, at least Obsidian, will take this formatting and put it here, put it on the next line when you don't want it on the next line. Sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. It's weird. But if you put a line break between the elements within, you're fine usually. And that's typically, no matter what program you write down in Markdown, you write in with Markdown, that will be the standard practice, is having a space between things. So if I had a paragraph, another paragraph, but then another element would be, or maybe I'd make another space just to have a thing between paragraphs and elements, but you'll at least want one space, because I see that recommended in every Markdown thing I've read so far. Plus, it looks nice and keeps things separated. So yeah, it's break time, and I'll go through this and try to have a fix up this weekend, or maybe I find another plugin that allows me to take the information. I was trying to use as few plugins as possible, but this doesn't work exactly like I want it to. It's pretty close, and it'll still get you there. And it'll give you just one thing at the end. Do that. The indexes are nice. Again, go to the campaign frame index. You can just go right to the section if you didn't want this menu. You can also, in Obsidian, and before we go to break, I want to point this out. You can open a link or another note to the right of a current note. So I click this. I say open to the right because I still want this menu up, but I want tone and feel here. Well, here's tone and feel over here. And then say I want to play with touchstones and I want to look at the tone and feel. And you can do this, for multiple notes. It'll take up more screen real estate as you open up more tabs. But Obsidian lets you do that. So if you want to work on multiple views in the same vault, you can, side by side. That's another nice benefit. All right. So when we come back from break, we'll just, that's our relax time. We'll kind of ease into the weekend, go over any TTRPG news or any tech news I may have missed since I started stream, and play some music and relax. And feel free to ask questions on this or any tech thing you want to talk about, and I'll do my best to answer. All right, see you in about 5 minutes. Gonna run some ads to keep pre-rolls away, and I'll see you soon. Suddenly, the door in front of where everyone's gathered opens up. A bit of steam pours out, and a person appears with spiky hair and backward hat on. There's these. Says, "Yo, welcome to the tour. I'm Vanilla Bean Ice.
I regret everything.
No.
I'm here to guide you on your excellent tour of this place.
All right,
Thanks for coming on in."
All right. Well, we asked for this, so
We did.
Everyone, just let's go along on the tour.
Everybody ready? And then there's, cheers, applause. People are getting excited, except, you. And Herb, Lady Luck 34 gave you disadvantage.
Mandy! So do I pick that or do you pick that?
Nope, your next roll has disadvantage.
Oh, geez. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. But thank you. Thank you for donating to charity. You do so much to me. Okay.
Rods we bestow upon our new fish are priceless objects. They don't cost anything. Since you know what you're doing, you'll probably want a proper one. But in the meantime, let's see if you can figure out how to hold your pole. Ready, the one I gave you, and your lessons can begin. I held my pole and I completed a quest. Ready in your...
This can go one or two ways.
I don't think so. And he claps his hands, and he gets 2 pie plates float up on each of his shoulder, like shoulder missiles. And
glad they say imagine cream pies.
They say
what
imagine
I was actually
cream
imagining
pies.
was dragons.
Yep.
I was imagining dragons.
I'm not responsible for what you think of when you see the term cream pies, but
Oh God.
Here
Not
we are.
late enough in the evening for that, you all.
Here we are.
Wow.
The sun might be going down in Chicago, but it is not after dark hours.
bye. Ow! Rude. What was that for? What did I do to you? What? How did I? So strange. Why did any of that happen? I don't get it. What a jerk of a goat. Or a ram, or whatever they call you. I don't know. And a low mumble, he begins. Ancient pastry chefs of evil, transform this unleavened form into Pillsbury, the ever baking. And with that, he
Yep. I mean, it's useless from us, but give yourself inspiration for that. That was
That's amazing.
see if I can.
Behold, blood orange.
Does anyone else hear Latin chanting, or is that just me?
No, I think everybody does.
But yeah.
So we're thinking it's someone that's been striking bakeries recently called the Frosting Phantom. And comes in, takes something, disappears. We open slowly to just not get it everywhere. So, expectations. Probably not going to be too bad. If it's horrible, you'll all be really amused. Alright, hello everybody. How y'all doing? Okay. So, I may have worked out a little bit of something. So if you're using my thing and you want it to work just a little better, demo window, there we go. So what I discovered was that if I take out where I put pound tone and feel, or hashtag tone and feel, it'll include everything in the note. However, now I don't need these titles then. And I added them because it makes them nice and bold here so you can easily find them. Right, so now title elements will have the title elements thing here. And I wonder if there's a way to get rid of that. Tag, because it was calling up the specific block. Now you could just open both notes and copy and paste. I don't know, like if I left this open, I just said the pitch here and I made it capital, or I made a big heading and said, okay, so you want to copy the pitch, then open that to the right, copy, paste over here. You can't have it here. Otherwise, these are all kind of small. But they do allow you to type away, you know, delete this and type in whatever. Then when I go to the full outline, just changes it, right? And I don't know if there is a way to eliminate the title of the note. That's what I thought I was doing by... Okay, let's see here. And exclude... Is that possible? Plays the whole note without the title. Oh. Okay. Hold on. There might be I'm reading. Okay, there's a couple things we can try. Let's try these live because I want a solution here. Da, da, da. So what it's saying, this thing is I can go here, and if I just hit pound, and then unable to find. Okay, so that doesn't work anymore. And then what else do we have here? Someone mentioned something else. I read a thing, and now I have no idea where it is. It'd be weird if this workaround just works. No. Okay. Nope. Oh, the other double bracket is missing. That's what's happening. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's a whole lot of CSS code. Because the only thing I don't like about this is that, the size of the things. I would like titles to be larger. Wait, can I just? This was tone and feel. I could just make this larger on its own. That's not going to do it. Or if there's a workaround for this. Oh, maybe. No, that doesn't do it. That just gives me that junk. Well, that's no good. Let's see here. Anyway, if you have any questions while I'm working on this, let me know. Otherwise, we'll soon go through the weekend wind down. Let's see here. Wait, do I just have the syntax wrong? That could be. It could just be. Oh, really? Okay. So maybe. Maybe it's this. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Nope. Nope. Still doesn't fix the. Still doesn't fix the problem going on here. Ooh, I suppose I could use aliases. Interesting. Do. Here's another plugin that might do the job. Okay, maybe that. For people that are not using. Use all lowercase page as the real page. Okay, so let's try a thing. And we'll go up here. Need a space. Couple of spaces. Gonna add properties. Add a file property. Gonna add an alias. Quote. Tone and feel. In quote. Bracket. That's the right syntax, right? Yeah, but that still doesn't... No, that didn't get rid of it. Okay. That's not what I want either. Do. Right. So the only good solution to make this look like what I want would be if I opened the full outline on one page, and then as you go through, so here's the idea. So I'm starting campaign, right? I'm like, okay, I want my title elements up. And then open to the right, I have the full thing. And then I just, instead of having this, here, I can get rid of title elements and just put that here. But then you can type here. Or wait, no, I didn't want that one to change. I wanted this one to change. So then you can just change here what you want. And you can copy and paste into the appropriate section over. You can just copy and paste over into the full outline as you want. That's probably the only solution that's really going to work. I really just wanted to make it easy so that you could do that, but that doesn't look good. You know, this needs to be, these topics need to be bigger. These headings need to be bigger. And I don't see a way to make that happen. I need an easy way for that to happen. Possibly without... I mean, adding one more plugin, sure. Or... Wait a second. That'd be weird if that worked. Yeah, that doesn't do what I want. Okay, so what is this called? Quick Add plugin? Let's look at this. Community plugins. Browse. Quick Add. Okay, so it was updated 10 days ago. Nice. Templates, captures, micros, and multis. Want to create a note, right? Installation, getting started. Here you can use the quick add format syntax. Date. Okay, that still doesn't seem to solve the problem. Because I would like it to make it clear that, you know, you're gonna sneeze. I'd like to make it clear that, you know, your section, your next section is large instead of these smaller titles. So, and while copy and paste will do just fine, there's a way to kind of automate it a little more. That would be great. The size of a title of a note. Okay, so we have a possibility here. So if I use the probably want the okay, so I'd have to add a CSS snippet. Or looks like I could use the style settings plugin, which actually would be probably the best solution. I'm already familiar with style settings plugin. Install, enable, show me options. Details and examples, please. Okay. No style settings found. Right. Oh, right, because it's not a specific. Right. Okay. So I would have to find the. Now that I have that in there, I would have to find the CSS snippet that allows me to change the heading size. That's all I wanted to do. So now I just need the proper CSS thing. CSS snippet. And it would do what I wanted to do. I think. So if I could just add the CSS snippet without let's see. How do I search for this? I don't know if those terms will work. No, there seems to be a oh, I don't think I need style settings. I think I just need some CSS. The one CSS snippet wouldn't be bad. Okay. Here's the directory symbol. Okay. That's not what I want. All right, I'll look into this later. Yeah, but for now, you know what? You can still use this. Just put a space between the things. Then they show up just fine here. All right, I have to redo all this. Okay. Let's stop this. Tired of looking at it. All right, let's look at any news that came up and put on some music. Until I can actually find the... There's a CSS snippet I need. There. I'm the 6th generation of a scarf you're working on, ripping it out again. Oh, wow. Do. Okay, I'll leave that window open. All right, let's look for any articles might have missed while we were talking. But you can still use what I have in the Google Drive. It's still functional. You just, not exactly like I thought it would initially work, but yeah. Still works. Okay. So let's go to... Look at our website, see if there's anything fun. Not much here. Kitty, what's wrong? Yeah, okay. Hi, kitty. Hi. Yes, I understand you want more attention. Yes. Hi. Shady Lady says hi again. Yeah, you want to read articles with me? Look for something to talk about? What are you doing? You ready to get going? Or do you just want rest here? I mean, if you just want rest here, that's fine. But, oh, no, you want to go. Okay. Okay, kitty. Go be free. Or stay here in my lap. There you go. All right. Come on. All right. There's Kitty that looks a bit like Hannah. Been hanging out on my porch. He belongs to the neighbors. Aw. Oh, so we should talk about the Apple App Store charts, because there is a one that is at the top right now. Something to do with frozen water blocking. You know. And be aware, it is only available on iOS right now. If you see an Android version, that is not an official version. That is probably a malicious program, and the people who made this particular frozen water block only have an iOS version. They do not have an Android version. So you search for this on Android, just beware, it's not what you think it is. But you know, so frozen water blocks, if you like those things, check out that article and maybe read about them. This summer, it is important to know where frozen water is. It is. It's very important to know where frozen water is. All right. Oh, in other news, Hades 2 has a patch, and it's likely the last one before their official launch patch. So, if you've been playing Hades 2 throughout the beta period, like me, and just been constantly collecting stuff, you can patch it up. I may have spent a couple hours with it the other night. Yeah, so check that out. And if you've been playing Hades 2, yeah, there's a neat patch. Does some cool things. I've been liking how they do it, because not all the content's there, and they're saving some content for the big release, and that's kind of cool. All right. Oh, here's an update to an article. Oh, this happened yesterday. So, Crunchyroll had apparently they're blaming a third-party vendor for this, but they had AI do subtitles, and it was a disaster. And so they took down the episodes and are now fixing it. They're working to fix these, but here is another article on Engadget. You want to read about that? Yeah. Luckily, it only affected, I don't know, 1 or 2 anime. That's the shock face, yeah. Oh, right, yeah. I get where you're going. So yeah, one subtitle in here even says, ChatGPT said, and it's in German, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, in the certain show's debut episode, but and the English subtitles aren't much better, so they are, according to this, they've been let's see, part of their statement at least according to this article, we were made aware that AI-generated subtitles were employed by a third-party vendor, which is in violation of our agreement, Crunchyroll spokesperson told Engadget. We are investigating the matter and are working to rectify the error. So, yay Crunchyroll, finding the error. Yay everyone for reporting it. And yay for having it in violation of your agreement. So liking all, I mean, the situation's unfortunate, but I am liking so far that there is a solution. It sounds like it's a good one. All right, another site to look at. I may go see a horror movie this Sunday. I'm debating whether it'll be Megan 2 or 28 Years Later. Yeah. Like, what's the name of that movie? All right, let's look at TTRPG news. I don't think there was a whole lot, as it's July 4 here in the U.S. Oh, speaking of frozen water blocks, here's a bundle that supports things like the Immigrant Defenders Law Center and things like that on itch. So definitely check that out. All right, what else do we have? Okay, nothing interesting there. Looking for that. Oh, something about Diamond Distributors in bankruptcy court. Oh, that seems like a mess I don't want to unweave right now. Okay, not seeing anything. And if there's any TTRPG thing you want to talk about, let me know. I'm just looking for stuff that I think sounds interesting or catches my eye. This Diamond Distributor thing is a big issue, it seems like. And more complex than just reading one article will really fill me in. So that will have to be something to understand for later. Yeah, so Diamond Content Distributors declared bankruptcy on January 14th, and this affected hundreds of game publishers. And now news about how that affects certain things is trickling out. Let's see here. Oh, the Steam summer sale is on. There's lots of good deals there. So if you're looking for some games to do this weekend, there's a sale. You can probably find something you like. Let's see. All right. All right. So I will work on that Obsidian Vault this weekend. Right now I'm just kind of hungry. I might want to take a break because everything going on in the world. Oh, I closed a window I didn't mean to close. Bring that back, please. I need that window. So let's see if there's anyone on we can send a raid over to. We will raid over to... Who do we want to raid into? Let's see here. Let's raid over to Fairbear. Fair is playing Baldur's Gate 3. They are excellent. So thank you all for being here. I will be back Monday with more Clear Obscure Expedition 33. And other things. So it should be a normal week next week. The only interruption this month will be... the only planned interruption this month is when I go to Gen Con at the end of July, which will be July 30th to August, whatever it is. Whatever that Sunday is. And I have a panel at Gen Con. So yeah, I'll be leaving the day before. I'll be going down on Wednesday. So July 30th through that weekend, no streams from me. But my panel is July 31st at 2 p.m. in Stadium Meeting Room 10. It's all about producing TTRPG actual plays. So, you know, come see it. It'll be an excellent time. There's still tickets. Though they are running low. Alright, thank you all for being here. Please be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. I know there's noise and loudness associated with this weekend, so if you can and have ways to deal with that, please take those measures. And thank you all for being here. I'll see you all Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned for the raid. Bye.